Hello there everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Better Than Starting Manned. We are back. We are here after our lunar mission. And we need to have a look at our current contracts. Payload to orbit around Minmus. Crazy. Alright, so we do have a manned request for us to plant a flag on Minmus, which is sort of looking like a pretty solid goal. Just trying to figure out... Yeah. I'm just thinking about whether or not I should do an unmanned lander first. I was thinking about doing the goo as part of the ship. I was giving that some serious thought. But the problem is fairly apparent if you look at the ship's design. I wonder, actually, you know what, and here I am talking, and I think I just had an idea about, maybe, okay, let's get the ship I actually want to fly here, not this goofy thing. Okay. Minmus, no, it's Moonshot 1 Mark III, I think is the one. Okay. If I wanted to send goo, you see, I would need to somehow get it... No, you see, because then I wouldn't be able to transfer my crew through. No, I don't think there's any way to do it, because I would have to somehow get it attached to this and to this. Unless I have a structural array that crew can pass through of some sort. That I could attach like a Rockomax brand adapter. You know what? That might just work. Let's just have a look. I've got a wacky plan here. Because what we need is something that can go both to the moon, or to the Minmus, and return to Kerbal. Now, how much does that thing weigh is a really important question. 0.05. Crew can't go through that for obvious reasons. This weighs... not much, but enough to be of concern. If I do that, and then give it a little bit of a structural... It's design day, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, so if you're not into design, into ship design, then... yeah, well... So the first step is, can I get goo to the moon? And I think the answer is yes, or to Minmus, and I think the answer is yes with this thing. I'll need to attach that like that, and it'll need to have temporary anchors to here. But according to my understanding of the game, that piece right there should be able to go to the moon, to Minmus. Now, my recollection is we have 3 goo deliveries that we have not yet done. Or all 3. We haven't done 3, so we have to do high orbit, low orbit, and landed goo for Minmus. Question is, how much of a risk of this thing burning up is there? Is there anything I can do about it? I guess I could use the Rockomax. You know what? Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use the Rockomax style one. Because we only need one piece. This weighs 0.05, this weighs 0.3. So about as much as a old-fashioned battery. If I do that like that, hopefully, the only concern I have is whether or not it's going to impact the ability of my lander to get to the ground intact. But if it doesn't work, I can just leave this mess at Minmus, or in orbit, and then dump it with the lander later. The important thing is that my crew can get through it, and I have my 3 goo samples and parachutes. Will they work like that? I think they will. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. My biggest concern would be at turning turtle. I suppose the easiest way to find out would be to test it. I guess that's what we'll do. Let's save this Minmus Lander 1. Mark 1. And let's just grab this little mess here. And this will be called the return core test. Okay, saved. Alright, we need to get rid of all of this. And we just need to slap it on top of something. Like our stage 1 booster. Probably won't even need that much, but... This is just going to be a reversion test, so... I don't have any intention of actually flying this ship any distance. Okay. Let's lift this thing off and see what... We just need to get it high enough that we can test to make sure the parachutes don't go goof or something. The things don't go goofy on us with the parachutes. If it flips over, I'll need to just... Whoa. Okay. This thing has an absurd amount of power, actually. There we are. Let's not overheat those too much. This is a test of the Kerbal flight system. It's interesting how this thing probably won't actually be that much higher than it normally does. I guess that's because it's still the mass that it usually has to lift. Although no, it should make it a lot higher actually now that I look at it. Okay, yeah, we're at 10,000 before we even let the thing go. It's still accelerating. So we get up to about, I don't know, actually we can go right up into that should do. Alright. Okay. So up nice and high. And then back down again. That's actually probably even higher than I needed to go for this little test. So I need to see if the parachutes will handle the mass, and if they will, we need to see if the adapter here will cause it to turn turtle or not. Alright, we're coming back down again, which means we need to get rid of our lower stage. Just get away from that. Then we'll get rid of the battery pack here. There we go. We're coming full on straight down here. So let's do a little... Whoops. Okay, the good news is that all those parts are falling cleanly-ish. And away, more importantly, away from me. I'm not worried about heat. The thing should survive the heat. Yeah, no kidding. Shoot, deployment unsafe. There's the rest of the ship. Alright, the moment of truth coming up in just a second here. RCS off and SAS off, and we will deploy the chutes, and we'll see what happens here when it turns over. Ideally, it just stays sitting exactly the way you see it right now and doesn't do the whole turtle flip thing. And they do clip, which is unfortunate for visuals, but good news. I guess I could spread them lower. Nah, I don't want to risk them burning off. And if this deploys and it doesn't flip over, then I will revert to vehicle assembly, and we will do our next test. Beautiful. Looks good. Looks like that will work just fine. Excellent. Okay. Because the majority of the mass is in the lower half. Okay. So question 1 answered. Our parachutes will support that structure. Alright, let's load our Minmus test. Okay. Now then, the thing that is going to determine our ability to do this mission. There's 2 things that we need to add. We need to get the tech for if we're going to do this mission, we need the recycler. And we need solar panels. Now this ship here has to operate. I don't know if there's any way to disable this or not. Let me just hold on. Let me just look at the lander can specifically. Your life support requires... Okay, so it only uses electric charge if the life support is on. So if the life support is disabled here, it shouldn't be using the electricity. But this thing uses... What did we calculate? 12.38 per Kerbal per minute. I think was the calculation. And, okay. I gotta go find my numbers. I have them sitting here. I will be right back. Alright, so the ship uses 27.24 electricity per minute, power per minute. That's the Probodyne plus this core. Currently. Now then, for the Minmus mission to succeed, we're going to need 1 additional tool. We'll need the recycler. Whoa! So before we buy the tech, let's just make sure it's actually going to do what we need it to do. Because we're going to need this thing right here. And it requires, when active, 3.3 per minute. Now, hopefully you guys can answer for me. Is it 3.3 period or 3.3 per Kerbal per minute? Because that's going to make a huge difference. Okay, solar panels. 54 per hour recharged. So, 54 per hour divided by 60 minutes in an hour. Each solar panel will give us 0.9 electricity per minute at full power. So, 24.76. Just adding these numbers back up again, plus 3.3, assuming that we're got the better case scenario where this recycler only requires 1, divided by 0.9. We need, wow, really? 34 solar panels to maintain a neutral. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's pretty painful. Yeah. Okay, well, that answers that question. So The solar panel might be able to increase our electricity, but it's not going to be able to completely... it's not going to be the primary supply. It can't be until I have this multi-hub connector. Because without that, I can't do the horizontal array that I usually do. So maybe it's going to be necessary to do something different right now. So, the Minmus mission is definitely on soon, but I think we need one more piece of tech. I think we're going to, because we're going to need the recycler and the photovoltaic cells, which of course means I can also redesign the lander with the Mark 1 can, which is much more efficient. Which actually means the ship could be flown by one, which would also save more. So that leaves us... So the good news is that the ship will be... Well, okay. So the real important question is how many photovoltaic panels could I cram on a ship currently without making... with my current tech? I guess that's what we need to find out. And it has to go on the right part of the ship or it's completely useless. So it has to go on this piece of the ship. It has to go on this lower core. It can't be attached to any of this middle stuff. Structural. Those only attach at the ends. I think without that hub adapter, there's no way for me to... I just don't think there's going to be a way for me to get this thing actually intact on the ground, or not on the ground, but on. I don't think there's any way for me to get this ship actually, or enough solar on this ship to make a difference. Because I could lay one ring in around here, which would be 8 maximum. 8 would be a lot less. I'm just remembering just how extensive those solar arrays in Season 2 were. They were insane. They were quite insane. I think they went out, I think it was 4 arrays mounted radially at 4 arrays, each one with 2, 4, 6 solar panels. So that's 24 solar panels. Even that's not neutral on this ship from everything I understand about the way the recycler works. But, I mean, that would be... Yeah, versus the 34 that I've calculated here, which I may have made a mistake. And actually, if I'm only taking the Mark 1 can... Hold on. Let's just check. If I am only taking the Mark 1 can, or if I'm using the Mark 1 lander, that means I'm only going to need... I'm going to need 12 less. So, because I'm only going to send one Kerbal if I only need one Kerbal. 12.38 plus 2.48, and then we definitely know that the recycler is only going to need 3.3, which is 18.16, which means that my old design with 24 solar panels would indeed be adequate. 24, but that unit was heavy too. Which means my lifter, but if I do I'm gonna get radial decouplers, so that adds a whole new option. Okay, but again, for this to work, I need 3 techs, not 2. So, is there anything else useful that they have given us? Any other useful missions? I think I need to get rid of some of these crap missions that I've got sitting. Okay, am I ever going to test the gear bay? No, you know what? I'm going to lose $3,000 for that. Just go away. Yeah, I'll deal with it. That one's 20,000, so I have to figure out how to do that one. Small bomb to Human's Lament. That's a quick airplane flight, which I think I'll do to clear that out of the way. And that is a Rockomax 2477 in flight over Kerbal. And that one I can just do quick as well. Of course, the flight conditions are mid-height, really fast. Yeah, activate the part through the staging sequence. Well, let's see what that actually is. Rocket Max 2477. Which part is that? We know it's an engine. VACC. Okay, I don't even know what part it is that we're looking at there. That's a decoupler. X100. Okay, it must be something that I don't have access to. Oh, was that from that stupid little airplane that goofed up on me? It was. Alright, so I don't have access to that tech. So let's just get rid of that contract as well. 2477, because that's another $2,000 just to have. Yeah. Okay. Payload, payload, payload. Flag on Minmus. LV1. It's a new liquid fuel engine. Let's see. Mark 55. Okay, so we got now we've got some options that are good. Maybe I can get a nice little cached orbit run go. Except for the orbit around the Minmus. Medium payload to, wow, they want us to start delivering to the moon now. Interesting. Alright, we are not delivering a warhead to the moon right now. That just may be a little much. We got 2 small payloads to orbit around Kerbal and 2 orbit hardware tests. So that actually will require a much smaller lifting system than most. Won't get me any tech though. It's science, and I need science. Okay, how much am I short? Okay, sorry about that. Let's go have a look at the science. So each node here costs 540. Yep, I know. Lots of math today, but I need to know the answer to this. 540 times, well, let's see. 1404 minus 540 minus 540 is 324. So 324, and according to my science archives, from the moon, a surface sample from the moon is worth 150. So I would need 3 lunar science samples to get another tech, which seems slightly excessive, but that is the only science I can get through. Yeah, 300. So yeah, I would need 3 surface samples to move onwards. 15 crew reports and 3 gravity scans. I think I've got everything. That should be, yeah, surface, high, and low, plus the... I might not even have all of the gravity scans yet. The goos are done. Okay. So, oh yeah, that's right. I grabbed these 2 useless samples during my last flight. Okay, so lunar surface samples. Okay, so let's just think here. So, if I was to go get some more science from the moon, I would require 3 not efficient, Okay, so that's not the efficient way to get the 500 or the 324 science I'm short for the third tech. So, do I design a nice little mini probe lander thing to go to the moon, go to Minmus and come back? Would I be able to design something with enough delta V to do that? Probably. Now, where else can I get science is the question. What other science is available? I mean, I could also get the interplanetary tech, which would basically require no, because I'd still need the solar array. The solar array would make everything much easier. So if I was to skip the recycler, get the large electrics for the solar panels, and the structural part, which will give me a mass limit upgrade, the super struts, and the multi-point hub. That would be everything I would need, and the radial decouplers. That would be everything that I would need to get a pretty a larger ship into orbit and get a lander to Minmus and back. Not a manned one, but I think just because of where we're sitting on science, sending this science array is not the most efficient solution. Of course, the hardest part is, well, I might actually have to do it as a two-part mission too, with a lander separate from the actual probe, so that I don't have to try and land with the solar array, which it's going to be, well, fragile would be probably the appropriate term. Though I'm not going to need a huge amount of solar panels on this thing, so it might be okay. Well, I mean, okay, worst case scenario, I have to send a manned mission to the moon again. I have to deal with using this lander can again. That's not the end of the world, is it? 3 additional lunar missions, so that's going to take a while. This is what I really need to send. And actually, that's not a bad landing rig now that I think about it. If I... okay. Well, let's do the, let's just design a Minmus goo. Minmus goo return. Okay. So things we're not going to need. We're not going to need... Actually, that's the core of the ship, isn't it? Yep. Alright, we'll have to start from scratch. Let's just get rid of everything. Come on. Okay. We'll grab that. Get rid of all that. Alright, so the question is, could I do something that's going to land and make it home? Quite possibly. Well, I guess I better go get the tech I need. If you guys think I'm making a terrible mistake, I do have a backup of the persistent file, so I could always revert if I've made a terrible mistake. But there's no wrong decisions in this game. Only ones that will make your game comparatively more difficult. Okay. So our goal, goo from Minmus. And composites. Okay. So the other thing we can do is we can design a new lifting stage, a new launcher. So we'll do that today too. Because we're going to be able to up the efficiency of our ship pretty thoroughly. Alright. So our Minmus return is going to use the Rockomax... No, not the... not that one. The Rockomax adapter. There we are, so we need those. We're going to need, from the aerodynamics pool, 3 chutes. And from the science pool, our 3 goo pods. And a small battery pack. And our heat shield. I think that'll be okay. Sure hope so. No, I'm not actually confident about that, so let's Okay. We need something that is smaller than this heat shield. Structural. Something structural. I guess we could go super light and just use one of these. What else do we have? We have the octagonal struts, octagonal super struts, girders. We don't want something too big. Hub adapter weighs 0.5. We don't want to do that. Well, let's see. If I use the girder. Alright, that's bad. That's good. Okay, that's the good setup. Actually, in all technicality, this isn't going to need the radial chutes for returning payload this light. We just need the standard parachute, don't we? We need a little... We'll need the goo in a minute, but we're going to need a small battery. This one. There we are. We're going to need the 3 goo canisters for the science. There we are. Okay. So that's our payload. Goo for orbit, goo for low orbit, high orbit, low orbit, and landed. Okay. Decoupler. There it is. Okay. So that's the part that's going to the ground. Now for the part that's going to actually fly. So since we grabbed the structural hub, we need to design our solar array. So for this thing, we're going to need the HECS. Uses 2.5 per minute. And we've calculated that these each produce 0.9 per minute. Almost don't need a proper array for this, do we? Let's see, 1, 2. Actually, no, we'll design, that's right, I remember. This is a pain to do it any other way. Utility, where is it? There it is. Okay. So, yeah, this configuration. Now, the question is, how much is this thing going to weigh? So, yeah, this is still the design that I was the happiest with. Having them rotated like that. Let's see, we just need to make sure they're nicely aligned. Looks like it's a balanced setup. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So at 0.9 to power it, we need not even remotely this much. But okay, how much does that weigh? 7.4. Holy crap, that's heavy. That is a 5-ton. That's 5 tons by itself, just that little tiny bit of so for the Minmus lander, I think we're going to have to be a little more creative. So let me think. Probodyne requires 2.5 per minute. Okay. Each one of these produces 0.9, so theoretically 3 solar panels should be adequate. So that solar array shouldn't actually be necessary for this, ironically enough. We should be able to just do radial... What the heck is that? Okay, what the... I don't know what these... I don't remember these... Okay, whatever. Alright, let me go grab my sub-assemblies here and see what we got. Not a custom category. Sub-assemblies. Alright. So there's the Mark II Lunar Lander. Now we already know that doesn't have enough... Well, hold on, let's think. Of that thing, that represents how much? $2 tons or so. That is all much heavier. Okay. I think I might need a Rockomax. Let me think here. I'm trying to remember how I did this mission last time. I mean, Minmus is a small planet, so in theory... if we have this... have a landing utility... if this is the return rig... one small poodle engine with a ring of solar panels. The question is that enough? I don't know, but we can cover the whole thing in solar panels like that. Actually, they don't weigh that much. 0.5 per. Okay. And each one of those actually has battery capacity. It has a capacity of 100. So one of those should be adequate. And then we just need the RCS. Now this is the return part, so we want it to be efficient for mass. So really the question comes down to, is that enough fuel? I'm not 100% certain. Okay. Will this rig, if this rig, oh, right, this isn't actually, hold on, we're going to need one more tank. Just occurred to me. Alright. So given that, assuming that this thing has a lander, will it support its own weight? That's not a bad question to have answered too, is it? That poodle might be too big. Now that I think about it. Yeah, I think if I do that, I'm going to break the poodle off. Let me see. One LV909 was enough to get the lander, the lunar lander off of the moon. Let's just check something. So... I need a lunar lander. That this thing needs to be powerful enough to get to the moon and return. Or sorry, get to this needs to be able to launch from Minmus. This is intended to be the launch rig. Let's just put it on the launch pad. I know it's expensive to do these two missions separately, but I do have enough, more than enough money missions. Actually, I might do all those money missions soon first, before launching this thing, just to budget for it. Okay. Yeah, and we know that. Okay, so it's stable. Is it? Nope. What's going on? It's... or are these things just failing? We just have a little bit of a Kraken thing going on here, although... what the heck is it doing? That is really interesting. Alright, well, whoa. All that matters is that that is... I just don't know if that's too heavy. Because I had this has to be the rig that gets back from Minmus. That's the short of it. I don't want to mess around with decouplers and stuff from getting back from Minmus. So let's assume that this is going to be adequate. Then we're going to need a Rockomax. We're going to go with the Rockomax decoupler. So, alright, so that's 26 tons. So it's 50 tons for our... Actually, no, we're not going to. We're going to need just a normal decoupler because that's a small engine. Okay. So given that, we need now something, we need our interplanetary boost, which is basically going to be another one of these. And it's going to require a little bit more. So that's 53 tons right there. and a poodle engine for this one. So the theory is I should be able to get a larger, I should be able to design a ship that can get a much, much larger, again, payload into orbit. So those are going to start disabled. We're going to put on a, how many do you think I can get away with here? Well, this is going to need a control. It's going to need its own, hold on. Oh, that's, we need the big reaction wheel. Yeah, and actually we want it on the upper stage so that we can use it on the return. So we're going to stuff that in under here. Okay, that goes there, that goes there. We need our own monopropellant tanks here. Am I going to need... a big tank would be nice. Necessary? Maybe. Maybe not. How much do these weigh? 0.3. 8 of those, so 10. 10 of those would be equal to 1 of those. Yeah, let's just take the big one. And we'll throw... I don't think we're gonna need an extra battery. Actually, no. If we're gonna have an extra battery, it's gotta be... Nah, that should be more than enough. 3200 battery with a poodle engine doing the interplanetary burn and a solar panel array. The only place we're gonna be running out of battery is in the shadow of planets. That, oh, come on, get you there. There. Hold on, let's see, we're gonna do a few less than that. Wait, this is 6, right? Okay, 6 there. Oh, we have 8, right, of course we do. 3 right there. Okay. I guess we're doing 8 on the lower part. That should be balanced off by this, and then we got 8 down here. Okay, and then struts just to hold this thing together. You know what? No, there's a problem with this design. Do I go tall, or do I compact it down and use the LVT45s? Now one poodle's way stabler. I don't have to worry about balancing off multiple engines and stuff. Okay, and that goes right there. Alright. Now then, let's grab our subassembly. Our 40-ton lift Mark II, right there. Get our decoupler. And it's going to be a just a standard stack decoupler here. Put that right there. Okay. Now things we know. This uppermost stage. Hold on. This isn't even the, this isn't the final one. Hold on. Oop. Cancel. Save. Open. We need. Where is our Moonshot 1 Mark III? I think I had a new assembly built. Didn't I? I did build a new lifting unit. Okay. So this will be called... You know what? Let's just finish this thing. We'll just save this as lift rework. And we'll get rid of some of these later. Okay, because we are running out of time because I can hear voices upstairs, which means pretty quick. Which one? Yeah. Alright. Let's zoom in. So we know that this is just going to fire as one rig. We're not going to decouple any of the parts from that. But these boosters, these solid boosters, need to be remounted on radial decouplers. Actually, I don't even need to be doing it this way. I just need to be copying and pasting. Yeah, that one does go right there, doesn't it? No, it's a little high. Okay. Oops. That was an accident. Okay. I need to get rid of that and that. Need to copy and unuse struts. Okay, I'm running out of time. So I might have to do this off camera. Well, at least, at the very least, we're going to be testing these, whoops. Where the heck did those come from? Actually, that's going to be a rather useful one, isn't it? Okay, we'll leave that one where it is. Alright, where do these keep coming from? Okay, that can go. Come on, let me... This has gone a little glitchy on me, hasn't it? Oh, no, there it is. There it is. Okay. Okay, is that one actually on its decoupler? I have no way of knowing. Okay, I'll put that right... Oh, I know why it's doing that, because I'm copying things that have struts attached to them. Okay, if I put that right there... Alright. Attach those like that. Attach that to there. That to here. Yeah. Alright. So let's check our staging. Obviously that's wrong. And this is wrong too. So we need the lower ones to go first. So lower ones, yeah. And then the lower decouplers, come on, why is that highlighted? There we are. So those are the lower decouplers, and those ones fire at the same time as the upper engines fire, and then the upper decouplers will fire at my will. Okay. Now, the 5 big tanks will all operate in. They'll run out of fuel simultaneously. Let's see, subassemblies. And this should be called the 50-ton plus lift Mark 1. Okay. I don't know how much those radial decouplers are actually going to squeeze out of this thing, but I guess we'll find out in the next episode. I'm going to slap that on the Minmus flight, and in the next episode we'll see what happens when we try and launch that thing. I'm expecting it's going to go a little sideways because the thing weighs... How much did we come out at? I don't even remember. Oh, right, that's not the right... 60 tons. So we need, ideally, we need something that'll lift 60 tons. Question is, will this lift 60 tons? Well, I guess we're going to find out next time. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye for now.